good evening, and a huge welcome, everyone, to this very first edition of We the Students. In the words of Abraham Lincoln, this is of the students, by the students, for the students. Nidhi and I, and of course, the amazing team of Student Life, Mr. Joel and Manali, are here just for a little guidance, a little support, but this is something that belongs to all of you. Nidhi?
Thanks very much, Manika. We're very excited about this very first We the Students because we thought this would be an opportunity for all of you, as Manika said, to basically make this your platform. So the idea is that you get to speak about any subject that you care about and express yourself. And I think that's something that all of us hold dear. And especially when you're, students at the age that you are, but also it gives you the confidence to stand up, firstly, in front of your colleagues and in front of a much bigger audience, to be able to express yourself in the way that you want to. So I think the idea is to allow you to express yourself, B, give you the confidence where you can just walk then into any room, onto any platform, in any meeting, and you'll find there's a big difference in the way that you conduct yourself, in the way that you express yourself. So all the very best to all of you. You've got very diverse subjects. Some of them are really interesting, some of them are very quirky, and that's the whole point. Nothing is censored here. It's no holds barred. So whatever you want to say, please feel free to say it. So should we begin by inviting Amy to begin as our first speaker?
Sure.
Go ahead, Amy. The stage is all yours. Best of luck.
Okay. Hello, I'm Amy, an international student in her second year in the university. I mean, that's a big deal, right? Because it is a big deal for me. I love watching movies on Netflix. No offense. I love writing. I love playing the piano. But above all, I am really stressed. I'm stressed about schoolwork. I mean, you could just be in class listening to a teacher, and you do not understand a single thing she's saying. When the class is over, understood everyone? Understood, ma'am. I'm stressed about what the future holds for me after graduation because I have so many people back at home who have these high expectations of me and want to see me win at all costs. But let's not forget, school is such a pain in the ass. And if you are a GITAM student, you would understand what I'm talking about. Many young people have been raised to believe that their problems are not worth sharing and not important. I once opened up to a relative of mine. I told her, look, aunt, I am really stressed about schoolwork. I have so many assignments, so many projects, so many extracurricular activities, and they all have deadlines. All she could say to me was, you don't even know what stress is. You see, that right there is the problem we should be addressing, not just for me, but for many young people who are trying to navigate their way through this so-called life. I have a friend, she's 24 years old, a graduate. She is not married, she's not working, and neither is she pursuing her master's. She stays with her parents, and like any typical African home, her parents constantly bombarded her with, your mates are married, your mates are working in big companies, your mates are pursuing their masters, and here you are feeding off from your parents' money. Whenever she shared these stories with me, she made it look like it wasn't a big deal and that she had it all under control. But guess what? She didn't. For 2 months, I couldn't reach her. And after 2 months, she gave me a call and said, look, Amy, I was hospitalized for 2 months because I had a nervous breakdown. At that single moment, I understood all she had been going through and all she had been bottling up inside her. Many of us have gone through this sort of situation or are probably going through this exact same stress. Lucky for you, I have 3 things that could be of help. Firstly, it's okay not to be okay. It's okay to ask for help because only then can you get the help that you really seek. You need to open up to someone that understands you, someone that gets you, regardless of the situation you find yourself. And in most cases, may probably not be our parents. Secondly, channel that negativity. Instead of sitting and feeling sorry for yourself, look for something you love doing, something you are passionate about. It could be writing, it could be playing a musical instrument, it could be reading a book, whatever makes you happy and whatever makes you comfortable. You would be amazed at how much progress you have made. Take that from me. Lastly, give your mind a break from all those negative situations, all those judgmental people who have nothing to offer you. Exercise, rest, listen to podcasts or music. Just get your mind in that clear space. I want to say to all young people who are going through stress or experiencing it that you are not alone. There are millions and thousands of young people who are going through the exact same stress. And it is my hope and prayer that we all get the closure that we truly deserve. Thank you.
That was really nice. That was really good, Amy. How was the experience for you?
Well, the experience was fun. It was interesting because when I was jotting down all these points that I wanted to express to you all, it was actually interesting because I'm also a student. I relate to the situation, and I'm sure many of us, GITAM students, relate to this sort of situation. So the experience was wonderful.
And it was so true what you said. It's absolutely okay to ask for help. And I hope your words sort of, ring true with a lot of students and people in general.
Yeah.
And yes, school is a pain in the ass. So is office, as you rightly said.
Yeah.
Thank you, Amy. Thank you. So let's get this moving. Let's get Akshara in. Akshara, are you there? Let's hear
Yes,
you now,
ma'am.
Akshara.
Should I start off now?
Yeah, please go ahead.
Okay. So, hi everybody. I'm Akshara, and I come from the city of Hyderabad. Hyderabad is obviously known for a lot of things, like, for example, the Nizams, the Golconda Fort, and of course, the biryani. But although Hyderabad is a cosmopolitan city now, back when I was still growing up, it was a haven for rich wildlife and vegetation. I remember going out on walks as a child and being able to spot peacocks on my way, and I was really thrilled to look at those majestic creatures. And there were parrots on our front porch, and koels used to sing almost every other morning. But as time went on, houses became duplexes, parks became construction sites, and sublime water bodies became hoarders of industrial effluents. No more peacocks or parrots or koels. By age 15, I had turned to documentaries. And that is how I learned some very disturbing truths. The first time my heart broke was when I had watched a video about a bunch of redeemers trying to pull out a plastic straw from the nose of a sea turtle. It screeched and screamed in pain. And all I could do was just stick glued to my screen and look at the torture that was unfolding before me, feeling so powerless, feeling so helpless. And that's when I realized how quickly we were devouring our planet and how good we were at pretending otherwise. Most of us have heard about the words like climate change and global warming. We've all seen a picture of a polar bear stranded on a piece of ice somewhere in the vast sea. But at the end of the day, we still forget about climate change. Why? Because we have the privilege to do so. But people living in the Marshall Islands, whose houses are getting washed away every single day because of the rising sea level, or the farmers in India whose crops are getting sabotaged because of the unprecedented rainfalls, do not have the option of forgetting about climate change. They're experiencing it every single day. And it is only a matter of time before these instances become more widespread and more devastating. The 2020s have been a slap to everyone's faces. It brought even the world's greatest powers down to their knees. Even as everybody hoped to move on from the pandemic, the bushfires in Australia, the tornadoes in US, the earthquake in Haiti, the floods in Europe, or the landslides in India, just to name a few, all in the span of the last 6 or 7 months have not let us move on. And what the question at this disparate point is, can things still change? Can we bring down the Earth's average temperature before global warming becomes an irreversible phenomenon? And the answer is obviously yes. Our generation has not created this reality, it has inherited it. However, ours is the only generation with the chance to save the fate of humanity. But no amount of science or technology can help empower the mankind without love and compassion. The 2.5-letter word prem is the essence to any inexplicable problem. If we can understand and practice this towards our fellow species and towards our ecosystem, then it is already a giant leap in the direction of progress. I believe that for an actual change, our generation must be a generation that is compassionate, a generation that is emphatic, a generation that loves. Otherwise, we will cease to perish and rot in our own self-absorption. The choice is ours now. The action is also ours, and the repercussions will also be ours. So like the proverbial saying, the ball indeed is in our court now. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Amy. That was wonderful. Sorry, Akshara. I'm so sorry, Akshara. That was wonderful.
Thank you.
So well done. And, really, for somebody, for instance, I'm living in Delhi and I've never seen rain like this in September. And this is happening all over the world.
Yes.
So if we don't do something now, it really is now or never.
Very well done, Akshara. You were so passionate about it. It was so obvious that this was a subject you felt strongly about. And I've never seen someone who can smile through anything, including saying that the 2020 is a slap on the face. Well done. Actually, it was
Thank you so much, ma'am.
Feel better? You feel better now that it's done?
Yes.
Okay,
so you more relaxed.
Okay, prepare for the next one now, okay?
Definitely, ma'am.
All right, great. Thank you, Akshara. Aditya, you're next. I think you're next, Aditya. Go ahead.
Good evening. Firstly, Amy and Akshara, great stuff. Just want to thank GITAM as well for this opportunity. Before I actually start my talk, right, I just want to give a quick story. So I'm sure all of us as students has experienced this one time where you're studying for your exams or your presentations or your assignments, and you quickly ring up your friend and you're like, hey boss, are you studying? Did you start studying? And they're like, nahi yaar, I don't know. I haven't started yet. Main kar lunga. I'll do it at the end of the day or probably right before my exam. And that gives you some sort of confidence. But the next day you go, you write your exam, your friend passes with flying colors and you're pretty average. And you're like, wait, boss, you said you didn't study. And he said, yeah, it just happens. Now, the thing is, either he's really good at their subject, or they just did that so, to make themselves feel happy and more confident that they get more scores than you. Now, this is called zero-sum mentality. Now, you must be thinking, what's zero, what is sum, what is mentality? A lot of jargon here. Fundamentally, zero-sum mentality is a mindset where for one to gain something, it always has to come at the cost of someone losing something. For example, if I want to go 10 steps forward, it has to be with my fellow colleague or someone else going 3 steps backward or 5 steps backward. And in addition to this mindset also teaches us that there are only finite opportunities in our lives to be successful. Now, let me give you one example. As engineering students, I'm sure all of us have written this one prestigious exam that we studied since the age of 13 or 14, which is the JEE. We have over 7.5 lakh students writing it every year. I mean, I toppled the toppler, man. I toppled the topper. I come from a gang of boys who have ranks which look like phone numbers or probably the views of Gangnam Style. All I'm saying is being good at competitive exams is not bad. Like, with all due respect to everyone who's worked so hard and gotten those ranks. But what I feel it is that it's just so limiting and narrow to think that, this is what success is, because you don't know what's after that, right? I remember as a student, when I got very less, very less marks, or like a rank that is not that suitable, every other student was associated with university names or ranks or numbers. And I just felt like that is not fair, because young people who are good at things that, do not get evaluated are really the ones who rule the world. And we need to maybe reframe the way how we view getting ahead in life. And this is just one problem. Like, this is just one example. We haven't even scratched the surface. But when there is a problem, there's always a solution, right? So let me give you 3 things on how we could re-engineer our minds to overcome this mindset. The first thing is how we view gain or success. I personally feel it is very subjective, and it should be. Indian society like ours, right? It raises us to, learn, and it conditions us to limit our understanding of growth. And they've always taught us that growth or success or a good life is very linear. But actually it isn't. It's way more complicated and layered, and the ups and downs is the beauty of life. Let me put this in perspective, right? A startup getting funding of rupees 1 crore and an athlete gaining their time by probably a tenth of a second is success. I mean, these may look very different, but for the person who's worked so hard, this is success, and we should respect and acknowledge that. Second thing is collaboration over competition. Mind you, I am an athlete and I absolutely love competition. But one thing I've learned over the years is competition is great. I mean, it's an opportunity for us to assess our game and for us to improve. But the moment it consumes us, I think it gets very toxic, and we need to understand that fine line of competition. But whereas collaboration, which is working with like-minded people, is that it makes the pie bigger, right? The pie of opportunities bigger. And it increases the opportunity. I mean, it increases the chance of returns for everyone involved. More opportunities, more returns, more ways to grow in life. The last thing, one thing we need to understand is that there is no set path to success. Especially after the pandemic, we realized that there are opportunities everywhere. So you don't need to be part of the top 1% or be part of the top colleges to be the top developer in the country. There are cohort-based courses. There are courses online. You can learn on your own. The opportunities are endless. And I feel we need to unlearn that. Because now let me just say, right, we've always grown to believe that there are finite opportunities. And this may seem like a very harsh hit to us. Similarly, like the pandemic. And we've always come over that. We've always grown from that, and we've gotten bigger, better, and stronger. I just like to say that as students, one thing we need to do is always explore, experiment, and experience things. And that's how we'll grow. And before I end, I just want to say, just think about the other instances where you think you would have had a similar mindset, and try to see where you could have done better, or where I could have done better, where all of us could have done better. Because as we grow older, the only motive in life to be the best version of ourselves. Thank you very much. I'm Aditya Rajesh, and that's my time. Have a great day.
Wonderful, Aditya. Well done. How do you feel now that it's done? Don't go away. Are you?
Oh, sorry. That was by accident.
No, he said, it's my time. I'm done.
Yeah.
Dropped the mic and walked away.
So you're relieved. You're feeling like less nervous now. How was the experience of doing this?
Oh, this. I mean, it felt like a very long time since I did something like this. So as an athlete, as a person who loves stage, it felt like I'm getting back into the game. So yeah, I hope this is not the last. And obviously I have a lot more ideas and topics that I would want to discuss. And yeah, I'm really excited for what's in store forward as well for all other GITAmites. So thank you so much for this opportunity. And
great. Well done.
Like Sherlock Holmes said, the game is on, and not just for you, for everyone. And there'll be many, many more.
Thank you so much. Yeah, I did get a tad bit nervous, but I'm
No,
really
no,
excited.
you did
Yeah.
well. You
Very
did
good.
Thank you. All the
well.
best to the other speakers as well. Thank you so much for this opportunity.
Great. And that's great team spirit that you've shown, acknowledging your colleagues and fellow classmates. So let's get Riddhi in. Riddhi is our next speaker today. Riddhi, over to you.
Hello, everyone. I hope you're doing great. Well, to begin with, let's have a small exercise. I want everyone who's on the screen, off the screen, listening to me right now, to raise your hands if you agree with my question. कुछ पाने के लिए कुछ खोना पड़ता है. How many of you have heard this? See, most of us have heard about it, but have you ever thought about, this in the terms of sacrifice, how sacrifice can be optimistic, how sacrifice can be positive in our life too? Well, to think about it, let me begin with, let's go back to that time where a proud mother sends her son, who's a soldier, to the border to save the country. She's sacrificing her son for the country because she doesn't know if her son is going to come back or not. Another thing which could be taken as an example is how we sacrifice our ego and anger to be in a happy relationship. Trust me, you will not be happy in a relationship where there's a lot of anger issues, where there's a lot of ego, problems, disputes, and all of that can be gone just by a simple sacrifice. A simple sacrifice can change your life in many different ways. Um, many of us would take sacrifice in a negative way. The idea of sacrifice has become very cliche in our day-to-day lives. I mean, we're all so negative about it. We say ki, sacrifice karne se mera life aisa ho jayega, waisa ho jayega. Why should I give up? However, certain times in life, it is important to make sacrifices. Before going ahead, I will share one simple sacrifice which I made in my life. That is, joining my hostel. It really takes a lot of guts to leave your home, to leave that comfortable environment and to stay away from your parents. But I chose to make this sacrifice because I know that this sacrifice of mine is going to take me places in life. Here I am standing today in front of you, and I'm so glad that I am this individual today. Not that it wouldn't happen back home, but then coming to GITAM and taking up these opportunities and, developing on myself and, working on myself has been very, very, very positive to me in my life. Let's take another small example. There's a wheat grain and it is on the ground. If it sacrifices itself and it lets itself germinate, it will grow back into a big plant. The plant will give you more yield. So that one simple sacrifice of the wheat grain is going to give you a lot more in life. Think about sacrifice in that way. We always crib about things in life. We always go negative about things. We don't want to miss up on anything. We don't want to lose anything. But then certain times when you lose something very important to you, or when you lose something very valuable to you, trust me, there is something great waiting for you in life. I personally have experienced this many a times, where I feel bad about not getting into something or not being able to perform something or not being able to get selected. I think this happened when I wrote my NEET, my NEET examination, and I didn't make it through it. But trust me, today I'm here in GITAM pursuing my mass comm psychology and English degree, and I'm very, very, very happy with the way my life is going. So all I want to tell you people is, to take life optimistically and to take sacrifice optimistically. Because, sometimes when you give up on certain things, you are going to go great places. You never know what life has for you. It's always full of surprises. And like how Adi mentioned, saying that, ups and downs is the beauty of life. Surely, you have to experience both success and failure to move forward in life. Another few examples which we could take about sacrifices would be self-sacrifice, or, sacrificing the pleasure for bigger goals, or sacrificing smaller goals at times in life. It is very important that we learn to let go things, that we learn how to be optimistic in life, and that we learn, how to take small steps to go forward in life or to go distance in life. Another thing I would expect from everyone who's listening to me here today is to give yourself time, because when you give yourself time, you're going to understand yourself better, and that's when you're going to be able to change your mindset into a positive one and go ahead and go to places in life. Another last thought I would share is, does anyone know the bookish meaning of sacrifice? Okay, I've come so far. I think, most of us have heard sacrifices, leave something valuable to you, you know, give this off, give that off, but it doesn't work that way. Life, is never certain. So it's better to live in the moment, to enjoy everything you have, to love yourself to the fullest, to try fulfilling all your goals, not put expectations on things, and to be happy and live a life, which you always desired to have. Because at the end of the day, you should have that satisfaction when you go back to your bed. Thank you all. That's it for today. And I love you all so much, sending a lot of strength to you all, and take care.
Fantastic. All sort of lots of love and strength to you too. And I love the fact that, you mixed up your languages, you kept it conversational. Really well done, Riddhi. Thank you so much.
Really like that, Riddhi. That was really excellent. And how much you've grown, how it was so well presented. You were so conversational, so relaxed, like, you're awesome. And yeah, I've also, I understand sacrifice. These days I'm sacrificing white rice and sugar for better things, and it hurts, but I'll take the lesson from you. I'll take that lesson from you. Thank you, Riddhi. Okay, Sampath is up next. Hello, Sampath, are you there?
Yes, ma'am. Thank you so much.
All right, Sampath, good luck.
Hello, everyone. I'm Sampath, and I'll start my conversation with a story. This incident happened when I was 9 years old, and I was traveling in a taxi in one of the busiest roads in Mumbai. I was a stubborn kid back then, and the front seat of any car that I go on is always my spot. And if you're wondering, yes, I'm the youngest one in the family. We stopped near the traffic signal, and I noticed a young boy who is filling the water bottle beside the road. The water wasn't hygienic. The taxi driver started the car. The boy I saw started drinking that dirty water. Later in the evening, I was thirsty and we stopped near a store. My father got down and he bought me a bottle of packaged water. This isn't just another incident in my life. In fact, this incident had an impeccable impact on me. I asked myself, doesn't everyone deserve to have fair and equitable access to resources? Growing up, I learned the term which describes the following: inequality. According to a report, the top 1% of the country, the rich people, hold 50% of the country's wealth. And today I'm not here to bombard a lot of facts on you. Instead, I want to share some incidents which showed me what inequality looks like. After the unprecedented COVID-19 lockdown in March 2020, as all of us know, the symptoms of unequal economic progress in our country got exposed. Millions of migrant workers who live in cities lost their jobs overnight because of one announcement. They started walking back to their villages on foot for hundreds, sometimes thousands of kilometers. And these people aren't some second-class citizens in our cities. They run our cities. In fact, they're maids, construction workers, security guards, and many more. In fact, if we look at this way, all of us are workers who are paid different amounts of salary, and maybe we have better living conditions. By 2050, more than 50% of our population is expected to live in cities. And the cities that we have today are not only hostile to people who are having economic implications, there is another dark side to it. A year ago, I spoke to a journalist who happens to be one of my friends. He told me that he met a family near Ghaziabad in Delhi. The reality of this family of four, where the father is the only earning member in the family, is not pleasant. Both their children are facing lung implications while they are 5 and 8 years old, and they live near a dump yard, which is a breeding ground for all the city's waste, pollution, and of course, bad and poor sanitation conditions. This is the reality of a lot of cities in our country. In fact, our country is home to 21 out of 30 most polluted cities in the world. And we as humans have more complications to deal with. The very own city that we live right now is projected to go underwater in the next 15 to 20 years. According to a latest IPCC report, Vizag, along with Mumbai, Chennai, and Kolkata, are at a severe risk due to climate change and rising sea levels. And to put it in context, just like you and me, more than 6 crore people live in these regions alone. And imagine what will be the state of other places, other coastal areas where the marginalized communities are living. But I don't think so. These are the facts that nation wants to know. That's why a lot of mainstream media doesn't talk about it. And not only these, our cities have a lot of problems. And it is never too late to change this. We still have chance to save ourselves from these apocalypses. And we can do this by asking the right questions, by making the administrations more accountable. We can make a difference. A simple logic. I just want to ask you this. Will you choose to buy rotten apples by paying a lot of money? No, right? Only fool would do it. Then why are we accepting cities with bad conditions while they are being constructed by the very money that we are paying through taxes? Is that fair? No, right? That's why today I wanted to share the story and the reality of our cities. And now I amplified my thoughts to all the GITAmites and all the 3 campuses. Let's go back to the story that I started with. A bottle of clean drinking water is just a normal routine for you and me. And the same bottle of water is a luxury for countless people, including the boy I saw that day. And that's why I wanted to change the cities of the country and transform them into free, inclusive, equitable, safe, and sustainable cities. And this is something I believe nation needs to know. And I have a dream that all of us can come together, make some changes in our personal lifestyle, and make a big difference together, because we don't have any choice. We have only one earth to live. I'm Sampath Angeti, and this is my perspective. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Sampath. That was wonderful. More power to your dreams. And you're right. The nation should want to know many other things, of course. Thanks to some mainstream media, the nation doesn't want to know what is relevant, but of course, goes off on a tangent. But thank you very much. Very well.
And a good choice of topic, actually, Sampath. It was something obviously very thoughtful, and you'd, this was in your audition as well. You obviously have felt very strongly about it and expanded on it. So well done. Are you feeling good now that it's done? No more nerves?
Yes, I'm feeling happy that I'll get more people to work with. And thank you so much for the opportunity and to share my thoughts with everyone. Thank you so much.
Great, Sampath. Thank you. Well, our final speaker today is Durga, who's been waiting very patiently. Durga, good luck. Over to you.
Hello. Okay. So, hello everyone. I'm Shrita, and I'll be your last speaker for today. We heard amazing talks by all the other panelists, and before I start mine, I want to congratulate all the others for coming up and expressing their views on such beautiful topics. On that note, the topic I'll be covering today is scenes behind success. I know it sounds cliche, but bear with me. Bill Gates, Jeff Bezos, Sundar Pichai, Elon Musk, Walt Disney, and the list goes on. Now, when we hear these names, what's the first thing that comes to our mind? Success, right? That's the word that comes to our mind. But there are only a few people who actually ask the million-dollar question. How did these people end up being where they are? What did they do differently? Some research, I've come up with 3 steps which are common in most success stories. 1 is to have a strong purpose and a proper plan. There has to be some kind of final goal, a destination you'll be happy to fight for, a path you're willing to take even though there are so many obstacles in the way. Here are some really strong purposes that I've come across. 1, a deep-rooted revenge plan. As Frank Sinatra once rightfully said, the best revenge is massive. And seeing that shocked look on the faces of all the aunties and uncles who told your parents that you can't achieve it, Trust me, it's priceless. Now, moving on to a more subtler purpose, we have extreme passion. If you're passionate about something, it's basically like you're a lovesick teenager. Everything seems to be flowers, chocolates, and love songs. You enjoy the whole process no matter how many obstacles are thrown your way. And in the end, you get what you want. Now, apart from these two, there's also one more popular purpose that I've come across: money. Wanting money can also be a very powerful motive. Come on, who wouldn't want to live in a pile of money, driving limos, sleeping in their plush king-size beds, right? But no matter how strong your purpose may be, without proper planning, it's still worthless. There may be success stories that say start big and win big, but that doesn't always work, my friends. That's why the best way to kickstart your journey is by taking baby steps. Now, in order for these baby steps to be executed properly, we need a small checkpoint. A short-term goal is what I call it. It's something you can achieve now and it'll motivate you towards your bigger final goal. Each time you have a small win, it acts like a fire to burn all those matches of self-doubt and regret. Each time you have a small win, it makes you crave for more, and eventually it'll turn into a habit. But how long do you guys think this process will last? Well, yes, it's obvious that you know it'll be rewarding in the future, but then again, humans are greedy and impatient. So what's the solution? Immediate rewards. Take me, for example. I have an indescribable relationship with ice cream. I love it so much that just thinking about it makes me happy. So every time I have a hard task to complete, I always tell myself, Shita, if you can do this and you complete this, you can go and buy yourself ice cream. And most of the time, it actually works. However, we aren't machines, are we? We can't keep grinding 24/7. We need some time off so that we can give our body the much required break, which leads us to step 2. Play, have fun, and just relax from time to time. Exercise and having a healthy and stable mind is super important. It's even scientifically proven that frequent physical fitness is directly linked with better memory power. Just moving around like a crazy person will help you release serotonin and make you happy. Happiness is proportional to more productivity, and more productivity will lead you closer to the future that you desire. So, moral of the story, move it. Now, there's one more thing that we must always keep in mind, and this is step number 3. Keep your mouth shut. Never reveal your master plan to anyone because there's always going to be people out there who are waiting for us to fail. Instead, just show them how it's done. Walk out the room like a queen or a king. Make them wonder how you made it this far. Wow everyone out there. You don't need to boast about your achievements and accolades. Real success comes when people find out about you without you telling them. Take the watch company Rolex, for example. They don't put out many ads, but the company itself is known for its high-end watches by almost everyone. So all I'm saying is, become your own brand. Be someone that people look up to. Be someone who inspires others and makes a change for betterment. Be someone who is successful. Thank you.
Thank you, Durga. That's
Very nice, very nice.
Thank you.
I'm going to take your advice and move it.
Thank you.
Yeah, enter like a king or a queen. That's it.
That we do anyway.
Yeah, you've changed Nidhi's life. But this was wonderful. I think Durga was our last speaker. Well done, everyone. I think Nidhi and I, who have sort of, met with you in the past and we worked a little together, I think we were dazzled by just how well everyone performed. I also just wanted to say that this is just the beginning and just one of the many platforms that we hope to provide to, all of you and all the other students of GITAM. I'm going to get in Joel now, who you all know very well, to tell you a little bit more about this. Joel?
Yeah. Thank you, Monica. Thank you, Nidhi, and thank you all of you. I think this was probably one of the most amazing sessions that I've sat through, probably the most amazing 40 minutes that I've sat through, but I was practically smiling away every other minute. I'm like, how are these guys managing to do this? This is so difficult to be able to come on a stage like this and, go for it. And, end at the end of each of those speeches, I was thinking, whoa, if I would have had to do that at that age, I would have had butterflies for 6 months before I even got to that place where I signed up for something like this. So this is
and Joel, I just wanted to say that it didn't feel like 5 minutes. Every time something got over, I was like, oh, like it just went off like so brilliantly that it was like, oh, it just started, it's over. So it was wonderful. Sorry, Joel, continue.
Amazing. And I just want to take a few minutes to, talk about the way we've designed this, the way we've conceptualized this whole thing and to create this platform. This was just the first episode. Let me just put it that way. We plan to have an episode of We the Students almost every month. Looking at your dates and our dates and how it works out, I think we will manage to do one episode every month, and we want to do that. And who knows, if there's enough interest in this, we might even go more frequently, maybe once a fortnight or something like that. But I just want to tell you that each of these students had the opportunity to, have the training, have the advice and coaching coming from Monica and Nidhi directly. They've been through at least 2 sessions with each one of them. And, that interaction is the experience that we hope that you take away with you. For these 6 students, I'm sure this is going to be an experience which is going to, I'm hoping it'll be like a turning point, in terms of where your confidence is, where you think of yourself, what your, how it reconfirms your ability and your belief in yourself. And we want to provide more such experiences. At Student Life, we are all about experiences that you get. And those who are here, those who have been part of this, I just want to tell you that this is just the start of a new club. So everyone who has been or is going to be a part of We the Students automatically becomes a We the Students. You have become part of a separate club, which is We the Students. We want to develop this club as a platform where people can share ideas, passionate people can share ideas that they are passionate about and share it with the GITAM community. And this doesn't stop here. We take these recordings, we put it up on multiple platforms, it stays with you. So like people become TED speakers and TEDx speakers, in GITAM, students will become We the Students who have spoken on this platform. So welcome to this platform. I think you are the pioneers who are leading the charge here. And I'm happy to tell you that we already have a few more students who are waiting in the wings. And the next episode is all set, and we will be announcing the dates soon. For anyone who knows what the power of those words, the moment you say, I have a dream, you're recalling someone and something that has made a big impact. The power of words and the power of words to, change you completely is something that is what we hope everyone who's a part of this program can harness and use, because you are the people who are going to be the leaders and change makers for tomorrow, if I may use that word as well, right? So look at this as just as your first platform, not the platform, right? This is just the first place where you can stand and you can shout at the top of your lungs, get your voices heard, get your ideas across, get people to join you. And beyond that, the world is your oyster. So calling all the people, all the folks from across the university who are interested, please let us know if you're interested. We are going to keep this going. And anyone who is part of the program has a lot to learn and has a lot to gain from it. So I'm sure you will show your interest. We'll send out a form again and we'll ask for your. Also, please don't forget to fill up this form that has just been shared on the chat window. We just want to collect your feedback on how we can make things better. Is there anything else we can do? And going forward, I'm sure we're going to have the real physical offline version for this as well, where we will have a live audience and we will have more people, going for this in the physical format, because that would be the next level, if I may say so. So thank you so much for joining. Back to you, Nidhi and Monica.
just to say that would be great fun, Joel. I think that hopefully in the nearer future, we'd be able to have all of you stand on stage and do this. And that's a completely different experience. This is also, I mean, if you look at how many people have logged on as attendees, even now, it's quite a large number of people, and you'll have a much bigger audience when it is in person. Also, that I think, as Joel said, we'd really like your feedback, everybody's feedback on what else you would like to see in terms of the format. We have thought about, we could make changes to this in the future, maybe have some interactions, maybe there'll be audience questions to you, especially when we are in person. And we are looking at the possibility of, once this club is formed and, you have people who are interested in doing this on a regular basis, maybe, who knows, you'll be moderating, a panel discussion of your own. You're the moderator, with fellow panelists, something like that. So we're trying to think of, ways to make this more exciting for you guys, and you become anchors then, right? So there's a lot, there's a lot of potential here. You guys were really, really good today. Well done. And we really look forward to the next episode soon. Thank you so much, Manali and Joel and Manika.